effort in the snatch for 155. Managed to clean and jerk 181. But Bayramov of Azerbaijan managing to clean and jerk 192. So we'll keep an eye on that one. There's a possible medal in it for him. Some very, very solid lifting from Mikhalad. And some decent numbers, Mikhaila, across this B competition.
Yes, there are. 155 you've just seen there. That's a big snatch now. We've got a number of the A group lifters that are not even starting on that. So it'll be interesting to see where these B group lifters place. So
that was the top lift from Mikhalad in the snatch. This is the top lift that I mentioned from Bayramov of Azerbaijan. And he'll be keeping a very close eye on the A group when they come out, because 192 at the 77 kilo category is not shabby at all for clean and jerk. That looked very good indeed. Went for 196, didn't make it, but that was a good effort there.
That second attempt, 192 that we just saw, that could be an interesting weight. Let's wait and see how this competition unfolds, but no doubt he will be in the auditorium watching the A group, anxiously waiting to see where he finishes.
In terms of our 7 that go in the A group, Krzysztof Tramiak of Poland, 28 years of age. There's Victor Getz, 21 years of age. There's a little catch-up on our records that the guys will be going after. A couple of those records, European in particular, have been around for the best part of a decade. So we'll see if anybody can get close to them. We're going to see an interesting competition, certainly here at this weight. Martirosyan, we think, coming in as the favourite. Day 3 of the European Championship weightlifting action from Tbilisi. These are our 7 competitors for the men's 77 kilo A group. Tramiak of Poland. Getz has a decent junior record, the Russian. Keep an eye on him. Martirosyan coming in as the probable favourite. And then we've got some decent experience from the Moldovan, Dumitru Kaptari. I think he'll be coming out first in the snatch. And then the experienced Romanian Alexandru Rosu, and a very talented junior, 19-year-old Karapetyan of Armenia, and then Lomtadze of Georgia making up the 7. So the defending champion, unfortunately, not here. Kerimaj was on the start list along with Stoitsov, the former Bulgarian, now lifting for Azerbaijan. But we've been left with some good competitors in this A group, but they've got to go some to compete with the numbers that some of the B group competitors have turned in. The breeze alongside me. It does rather beg the question, why do the likes of Mikhalad and Bayramov end up in the B group?
Well, the answer to that is fairly straightforward. Before the competition, talking before any of the weight categories started, there would have been a technical meeting. It was the opportunity for the coaches to declare their final entries. At that meeting, they give the names of the athletes. They also give their best totals. Based on that, nobody knows who's putting what in. And after that meeting, they then look at it and say, right, top 10 are going to be going in the A group, the next 10 in the B group, and so on into C and maybe even D groups at World Championships. As it's turned out, the 2 B group lifters that you've just alluded to, their totals weren't high enough to get them into an A group. But we've only got 7 athletes competing here right now, and that's because 2 have pulled out at very short notice. The B group lifters would have competed earlier today. Their results still count in the competition, so whilst they will now be sat watching, waiting to see where they finish, we cannot forget about them. Their results are still important.
So successful opening snatch from Kaptari. Over. Waiting in the wings for the weights to be adjusted. Alexandra Rosu, Romania, 7 years of age, been around quite a while now. A lot of these guys will have competed together at junior level, then moving through the under-23s and on to the senior stage. Very aware of what those PBs are. Martirosyan is the man to watch. He's already had a little dabble in the tactical game with a clean and jerk posting of 200 kilos. We'll see if he goes for that. That's his PB. Romania to enter the competition.
Yeah,
solid enough, but there'll be some concerns over how much further he can go.
Fairly comfortable. I think a small step back to steady himself. I wouldn't say there's any issues with the weight there. 145, he originally posted a 143, up that to 145. Slightly rounded in the back as he comes off the floor. Just a small step to adjust. But had the leg power to generate it to arm's length, no problem. Almost went out the back door, saved it nicely. I think we're going to see a 150 attempt from him on a second.
So Kaptari successful at 142 for Moldova, and then Rosu successful at 145 for Romania. We'll see some of these bigger names decide to come into the competition. Keep a particular eye on the two youngsters, Victor Getz and Veranik Karapetian, still a teenager. So confident they're feeling. Personal goals here to be achieved early doors. Important that you get these early lifts out and get them clean. You never know what's going to happen at a later stage in the competition, so posting a number is always useful. And Kaptari stepping up here with that slight increase to 147. And, did that very well as well. So that's two really competent lifts, and you have to think there's maybe a bit more in the tank for Kaptari. Could have
a bit more in the tank, but a little bit sluggish in terms of movement. I want to see a bit more explosion through the middle. At the moment, it's all one speed. Quick, but could be quicker.
Yes, you talk a lot about the one-speed lifter, and you want to see that explosive phase.
Yeah, past the knees is where all the power is generated. Getting the bar from the floor to that position is critical, making sure your body's in the right position so you can use the legs effectively.
Georgia into the competition. So home fans with something to cheer on here. Georgi Lontadze. Lontadze, 22 years of age. So in the same sort of age grouping as the Russian Getz. And Lontadze coming in at 148. No, that's disappointing. Big groan from the Tbilisi crowd. They've not had a lot to cheer so far this week.
Well, just watch what happens on the replay as he drops to the bottom. He's just backing away from the bar, leaves it out in front. And that's going to be disappointing. First attempt. It's always nice to get on the board. Take the same weight again. You can just see the technical official now looking at his elbow, questioning the strapping that's on it. Not allowed to have strapping that crosses the elbow joint.
So quite a tame start to this men's 77 kilo category. Big difference between the world records through to the European records in some of these individual medal disciplines. So Snatch, for instance, is a world record held by the Chinese lifter Liu at 176. Clean and jerk, the Chinese lifter Zhang Yong at 218, and those are mighty numbers. But if we go to European status, then 173, Marty Rossian's snatch record, 210 for Peripachenov.
Well, he's been forced to take the tape off his elbow. Some might be watching thinking, what's the relevance? Why are they not allowed tape on the elbows? It's quite simply one of the rules that's been there for forever. I don't see any reason why it can't be there. But originally the rules were nothing across the elbow so that the referees could clearly see any movement.
Good spot. Carla Breeze alongside me. Commentary booth, that's better technically, and he's made the lift.
Well, it's better, still in front, had to take a couple of steps forward to steady himself, just about had the legs to get as much height on the bar as possible, but he needs to be driving upwards rather than kicking the bar out and throwing back. He's in the competition, that's all that matters. 148, the bar will now automatically go up by 1 kilo, but he won't take 149, he'll go higher than that, 150, 52 maybe.
Yeah, huge sigh of relief from the crowd here in Tbilisi. Let's see where he does go. See who comes into the competition next. We saw Krzysztof Shramiak just warming up. Yeah, preparation room. Looks like the Polish lifter is going to come in at 150, and I think we'll see a few in at this. I think Rossu's probably going to come in here as well. Take his second lift here.
He's got the loaders, cleaning the bar, taking off the platform. Give it a quick wipe down, scrub down. There's obviously blood on the bar. The lifter that went previously has probably ripped a callus. The clock stops while that happens, the competition stops.
So Krzysztof Shramiak of Poland steps onto the stage. 150, his opening snatch lift.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tried to fight it, knew better. There's no point in trying to hang on to a weight that's going behind. That's when you risk the elbows and shoulders going. It's a 150 first attempt failure. Just looking at his hand now, probably ripped it as well. He's got a personal best of 161. Should be a weight he's comfortable with. A very fine line for error. Technically, not much wrong with it. Just a fraction behind. Couldn't hold it.
Championships a huge mental demand on the lifters. That's where some of this experience really does come in, and also the juniors can put some decent numbers together as well. They don't seem to be phased always by the big stage, but when the expectations are there, it is very, very tough not to let the adrenaline kick in. That technique, Mikhaila, is still paramount.
Well, these athletes train many, many hours a week in the gym. Some will train twice, sometimes 3 sessions a day. So much of that will be on technical work and making sure the precision is there.
So Romanian Rossu, 150, as we suspected. 150 is successful, so he moves on.
Well, I'm not liking his starting position off the floor. We penalise the youngsters in Britain if they lift like that. Back was rounded, never straight off the floor. It's really hard then to set yourself. He's obviously got away with bad habits as he was coming up through the ranks. He's never corrected the position. Look at that for a rounded back. That's going to put the back under unnecessary strain. But very, very strong.
We've seen a few lifters sailing a little bit close to the line in terms of technique this week, but they've got away with it in general. So Rossu posts 150. Shramiak with his second attempt in the snatch at 150. The Polish lifter didn't look too good in the first one. It was pretty close again.
Small movement in his left elbow. That's on our right as we look at it, but I think he'll be okay. Rules specify the bar has to go to arm's length and stay there. It was the smallest of movements. Look at on the right side as we're looking at him. Just a small movement.
Definitely perceptible. Shramiak gets the white lights. Joins Rossu on 150.
Nice and straight under the bar.
So waiting for this snatch element of the 77 kilos competition for men to really move up a gear. Put pressure on the next man onto the stage. Georgie. Apologies. Does he know? Well, it's 151 was his next lift. Having been unsuccessful first up at 148, then managed to get that second lift, but 151 beyond him. Unfortunately, in front of the home crowd, it's not the start he was looking for in this competition.
Not too bad in terms of position, just a little soft in the shoulders. Needs to be receiving the bar in a really dynamic position, ready to stand. Kind of hit him at the bottom. Just one thing we're going to point out here. 151 the bar's on. Remember Likarad, 155 from the B group. And
I was just going to say,
we've still got 1, 2, 3 lifters that have yet to join the competition. They could still put him out of medals, but at the moment, Likarad from the B group, Belarusian, is in gold medal position as it stands.
That sometimes happens, and we get excited about it until the big names come in, but genuine opportunity for him today, and for Bayramov when it comes to the clean and jerk. Two B group lifters. So Kaptari, 152.
I believe these medals are going to be won from those lifters that are most consistent, and that's Kaptari, 3 out of 3. Some great lifting there. Likewise, Likarad from the B group was also 3 out of 3. Good technique, solid underneath the bar, stands up really strong. No complacency, completely focused right throughout the lift. You can see here, nice straight back, good leg drive, good extension. It sits nice and straight. There's textbook lifting for you right there.
For those of you new to weightlifting here on Eurosport, if the weights are tied, then body weight of the lifter comes into it, which is why you see that come up as BW body weight on the graphic, because that is very important. Now, a young man we've been interested to see, Victor Getz, enters the competition at 153.
Well, that was easy.
Very cool.
Very easy. Nailed that, really dropped into a very quick, solid receiving position. Skips off the platform. He's here to do a job, and that's step 1 complete. Good extension, speed and athleticism in abundance. Didn't even breathe, I don't think.
150 is his entry weight, just so he could have a look at things. He knew he wouldn't be first up, and has decided to go in at 153 in the end.
Receiving the bar in such a dynamic position is so important. If you're soft under the bar, you risk the bar hitting you or squashing you at the bottom. So it's important to sit nice and strong, nice and tight, ready to stand up. Remember, the lift isn't finished when you're at the bottom. You've still got to stand with it.
Martirosyan still going through his warm-up phase, waiting to come into the snatch competition, the Armenian. I think now emerging as favourite with Karimaj, the defending champion, not coming out for this one. So once again, 153. Alexandru Rosu of Romania with his final lift in the snatch, gone from 145 to 150. This will be for a third success, 3 kilos heavier. Again, had to fight his way up.
He's a strong guy, but I wouldn't be encouraging anybody to copy that kind of technique. Just too risky on the back as far as I'm concerned. Everything was forward, did well to steady himself. When you have a lifter like this, you're either going to get good lifts or you're going to miss them, and it could literally be 50-50. You can see how far over the bar he was, had to throw his shoulders back, ended up jumping backwards. Level of consistency is going to be poor when you're lifting in that kind of manner.
But Alexandru Rosu goes to the top of the tree for the moment, 153, and remember, still nobody has matched that B group lift in the snatch of Vadzim Likarad, and this is the first man who's going to have a go at that. Tigran Martirosyan enters the competition at 155. In terms of PBs and experience, this is the man to keep your eye on today. Taking his time, but gets it right.
Yeah, it's important to give yourself that minute at the start just to focus. There's a lot that goes through an athlete's mind in that walk up onto the platform, but that was a very solid first attempt. You can see how quick he is underneath the bar. Sets himself strong back, big drive with the legs, speed, and that's a good lift. And this is 155. I want to say only 155 because his personal best stands at 173, which incidentally is the current European record. So he's been to weights significantly heavier than this. Let's see how far he can go today.
So Martirosyan leads. Good opener. 155. European and world champion from Armenia. And next onto the stage, Shramiak. And the Polish lifter moving from 150 to 155 as well. So already realising that if he's going to stay with this sort of company into clean and jerk and have a chance, he's got to produce the goods here. Big lift for him. If he doesn't do it, Likarad of the B group is really looking in business. Oh, nowhere near.
Well, even if he had nailed that, he was still heavier than Likarad on body weight. So the only lifter at the moment that's gone ahead of Likarad is Martirosyan.
So Likarad at the moment in silver medal position with the snatch. Martirosyan though leading 155. Now then, another young face stepping on to the international stage. Two very good Armenians in this competition at opposite ends of the age spectrum. This young man, still in his teenage years, 19 years of age. Andronik Karapetyan, body weight of 76.58, and has decided to come in at 156.
156 would put him ahead of his teammate, just pointing to the referees there, pointing to his elbows to say, I don't have a great elbow lock, so please don't penalise me.
He doesn't.
But that's okay, so long as there's no visible movement in the elbows, he'll be fine.
Really good start from the youngster. Does not look concerned at all on the big stage.
No, didn't really take his time at the start, was almost not in a very good set position. Head was down, looking down. If you do that, the tendency is to drop the chest and walk forwards. My goodness me, is he strong. Just 19 years of age, throwing these kind of weights overhead. Remember, these guys are sub 77 kilos in body weight.
Victor gets then 76.86, so body weight's going to count against him, but gets that stable, the Russian, and gets it up. No messing about at all. Just came straight out into the stage, performed the lift, and off he goes again. Very businesslike from Victor Getz, goes from 153 to 156. He's still in the hunt.
And we now have three lifters that have surpassed Likarad from the B group. So he'll be sat in the auditorium a little disappointed. It was very close. It would have been nice to have seen him compete in the A group.
Great effort. But now it's about the three still in the competition. So, Martirosyan has company. He will be aware what his international teammate is capable of, Karapetyan. It'll be interesting to see just where he wants to go. Get someone 56 then to equal Karapetyan.
Well, these athletes would have come here with a game plan, but everything kind of changes. It goes out the window when you're in this kind of position. Three lifters, all wanting to nail the gold medal on the snatch. There will be some discussions with the coaches in terms of weight selection.
And he can't afford to mess about, can he, Martirosyan? He's probably got to put some pressure on here.
Well, as I said before, the winner's going to be one of the most consistent athletes. So if you can nail 3 out of 3, you put yourself in with a really good opportunity. But the pressure's on. You can see just how nervous he is, and having a younger teammate coming through the ranks, that's tough to take. Yeah, having been a European champion, having been a world champion as well back in 2010, Martirosyan now is under pressure from his teammate. He has the experience.
2010 was his big year, but also, unfortunately, the year that his father passed away. But has gone on lifting and said he wants to dedicate everything to his father, who was his first coach. So 160, this to put him to the top of the tree. In third at the moment after that lift of 155, behind Karapetyan and Getz on 156. How much pressure will this 4 kilo increase put on the rest?
Sits in deep, drifts onto his left side just to steady himself, but has the stability at the bottom and the experience to know what he's doing. Stands up strong. Well, this is going to throw the question to Victor Getz. What does he do? Does he go for the 160, which is the weight that he's posted for his final attempt, or does he go 161 to try and take the lead away from Martirosyan? As it stands, Martirosyan is slightly lighter than Victor Getz. In fact, Martirosyan is the lightest of the lifters remaining in the competition.
76.38 against Karapetyan, 76.58. Getz is the heaviest at 76.86. So this next lift from Getz will tell us exactly where we're going here, and he's not going to push too hard. So 160. It's coming out what is obviously close to what he feels comfortable with at the moment. But even if he gets this, he won't go past Martirosyan.
Well, the Russians playing it, I wouldn't say safe, but they are playing a sensible game. They're looking at the overall rather than just the snatch. And that's right on Victor Getz's limit. 160, that's equal best. It's only good enough for the silver at the moment. He may still be bumped down to third, but he's now put himself in with a good opportunity going into the clean and jerk.
Yes, no showboating here from Getz. Just get the job done. No pun intended. But still sitting in behind Martirosyan, courtesy at the moment of that slightly heavier body weight. Now then, this is the young man that could really put the cat amongst the pigeons today. Looking forward to seeing both he and Getz lift, and Karapetyan of Armenia making a superb start, coming out easy as you like on 156, and he's just bumped it up to 161. This to claim the lead. Martirosyan with one lift left. Getz has made all three of his lifts successfully. And Karapetyan with this one and another to follow. So the gold medal not decided yet.
Well, he looks the more convincing out of the two lifters. I think we're going to see this young man progress rapidly over the next few years. Still just 19 years of age. He's coming into his prime. He's put himself up into gold medal position with only one reply left from Martirosyan, his teammate, who I'm anticipating will come out with a 162.
Six-year-old Armenian Martirosyan, with that fabulous CV of his, is under some real pressure here because there's a pretender to the throne. And the youngster, Karapetyan, very good lifting so far in the snatch category, and he will have the last say in this 77k snatch phase. Martirosyan trying to put some pressure on with 162. He has lifted a lot heavier than that, but this is clearly as much as he's willing to risk. So a 2-kilo increase from Martirosyan. Is the lighter of the two men, so this would force Karapetyan to go heavier. No. And that's a real concern for the second phase of this competition as well. Some shock from the Armenian fans, and no more strut from Martirosyan as he leaves the stage. So bows out at 160 in the snatch, which will give him the silver medal position.
Wow.
Karapetyan has secured gold.
This makes the competition a little more interesting because Martirosyan has a 200-kilo starter on the clean and jerk, 10 kilos above his nearest rival, who is also teammate Karapetyan. So if Karapetyan can take this next lift, 164 I think he's coming out for, then it closes the gap a little going into the clean and jerk. So this is an important lift. He's already got the gold medal on the snatch. Can he extend his lead further?
Interesting choice of weight, 164, so he really is going for a bit of bust.
So we have 4-kilo personal best.
And running the clock right down here as well, but he does lift quickly. No messing, straight into it, and up it goes.
Wow, superb lifting, under pressure, knew that he needed that, even though he'd already secured the gold on the snatch. That's going to bring him closer now on the clean and jerk and overall contention for the gold in the total. Great day's work, 3 out of 3. What more can you ask?
Well, what a fabulous story to start things off in the 77-kilo category. Likarad very, very close from the B group to getting onto the podium in the snatch. in the end taken away from him by two youngsters, Karapetian and Getz. It's Karapetian that claims the gold. Getz does take a medal, just behind Martirosyan. So, to be confirmed, but Karapetian gold, Martirosyan silver, Getz bronze.
And Likra had fourth place from the B group.
Excellent stuff.
So he's still there, in with the running.
But this young man looks very, very good indeed. And looks like he's well up for it today. So we will move from the snatch phase into the clean and jerk. And that total of 164 posted by Karapetian just gives him a little bit of a boost going into the second round. Martirosyan gets 4 kilos down on that, and Martirosyan is going to have to draw on all of that experience at big championships if he wants to make it a third European title. So that's how things stand in Tbilisi in the 77k category. We've got a 19-year-old leading. He claims the gold medal in the snatch. Karapetian will head through into the clean and jerk, which is the next phase of this competition. Very, very confident indeed. And talking of that clean and jerk, 192 for Bayramov has been posted in the B group already. It's confirmation of the result. Karapetian then does take that gold. Martirosyan silver, Getz taking the bronze. And quick